It wasn't that long ago I featured a brand here on my channel called Monroe. The watch was the Adventure, and this was one of the best affordable field watches that I'd ever featured here on my channel. It was extremely specced out, it was really well made, and overall I was very, very impressed. Today I have one of their integrated bracelet watches to show you guys. This one also gets tons of specs and is really well made, and of course very good looking. I have one hands on, so let's flip the camera and take a look at the Urban Adventure from Monroe. The last time I featured a Monroe here on my channel, I was very impressed with that watch. It was kind of a watch that was trying to do everything. It was a world timer. It had, I believe, 100 meters of water resistance. It came with a number of straps, and it just had a lot going into it. And it was on the larger side. So this is something that is slightly more focused. This is going to be your everyday watch from Monroe. It's an everyday integrated bracelet watch. But the design here is very, very straightforward, but at the same time, kind of complicated. They've given you some design elements here that are really there when you see them, not when you don't want to see them. I like it. And you're also getting a fume dial. This also comes with an extra strap. So I don't think that strap is proprietary. I'll show you a picture of that strap during the video, but this is not a proprietary strap, which is pretty cool. One of the things that you will notice pretty much immediately, but kind of blends in the watch so much that it really isn't that big of a design element when you really wear the watch and you're used to looking at the watch. When you turn it on its side, there is a line of orange. There's like an anodized area of orange that is underneath that bezel. And then you have this slab here. You have a very slab-sided watch because it is an integrated bracelet, but you have this extra part that is screwed into the side of the watch that has this knurling on it. It's really just a line pattern, and that is screwed into the side of the watch. When you turn it on its other side, there's two more, and those are screwed into the side of the watch, and that is not crown guards. It's really there for a design element. You have a screwed-in case back, and it has their logo on there, and then you have a screwed-in crown. It has their logo on there as well, and you get that same pattern on the crown. The crown is extremely grippy. Quick release on the bracelet, and overall, I think this is a really cool design. I think it's something that's a little bit out of the ordinary because there are plenty of micro brand, independent brand, and basically major brand integrated bracelet watches out there that you can choose from. Brands like Tissot and Certina and every other brand in between. They've been putting out a lot of integrated bracelet watches, so they have to stand out a little bit. And you have a little bit of orange on the dial as well. The seconds hand has an orange tip on it, and that matches that orange that's under the bezel. You have this gray fume dial. You have these very large hands that I've seen before because this is a Monroe. So these are very distinct Monroe hands. That hour hand has a pip in it, and that lines up with the minute hand, and when they overlap, you can see the lume through the minutes hand, which is kind of cool. The hands are beveled. I wouldn't call them a lollipop hand. I wouldn't call them a fence post hand. I wouldn't call them a sword hand. It's sort of a combination of all three. I think that's pretty cool. And then you have the Monroe logo right at the 12 o'clock position. It's large. This one is not printed on. It is applied, and it is a brushed logo. When you look really closely, you could see that it almost looks like it was painted on, but it's not. It's an applied logo. You have the date at the 3 o'clock. There's a little window around there. That's in white. There's a little red arrow pointing to it at the 3 o'clock position, which looks pretty cool. I could have done without the date, but that's just me. I could always do without the date. And then you have these large applied indices that are fully lumed, and they are very bright. We will do a lume shot towards the end. There's a pip on that second hand as well. So it's orange, and there's a pip, and that pip is lumed. So obviously you could see that your watch is working in the dark. You get a screwed-in crown and a screwed-in case back, and this gets 100 meters of water resistance. You get a sapphire crystal that is flat with AR coating, and of course this gets a Miyota movement inside. It is a Miyota 8215, so it does hack and it does hand wind. You get a beautiful bracelet on here with screwed links, a double push button enclosure. The bracelet is an I-link bracelet, I would call it. A lot of people will call it an H-link. I think it looks like an I more than an H. That's just me. And every edge is polished on this bracelet, and it feels really good in hand. It feels like a quality bracelet. There's no rough edges. There's no sharp edges. And considering the price, that is pretty impressive. This is overall a very impressive designed and feeling integrated bracelet sports watch. Technically, this is your everyday watch. And I think that's why they call it the Urban Adventure, because the Adventure was your outdoor watch. This is made more for the city, although this definitely can handle the outdoors. Measurements on here, so the lug to lug is around 50 millimeters, but you do have female end links on the bracelet, so it does fold down, and it is 50 millimeters even if it's on this bracelet. So that's really not that bad. You have a thickness of 11.9 millimeters, so it's on the thinner side, but it's kind of on the thicker side for a 100-meter watch, so it's somewhere in that range. I think it works. And then you have at the bezel, it's around 38.9 millimeters. At the case, it's around 40 millimeters. If you include those extra structures on either side of the case, it's around 40.5 millimeters. So I would say this wears like a 40 millimeter watch. On my wrist today, I have the Yema Gilt Superman. So this is somewhat of a new release from Yema, and it has their coffin bracelet on here. It is a dive watch, 300 meters of water resistance, and it also gets their in-house movement, which I really like. And there it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. Now I have a 7.5 inch wrist. This is not too big for my wrist, but I could see how this might be a little bit big for people with smaller wrists than me. This is on the larger side for an integrated bracelet watch, although the saving grace here is that the lug to lug, even though it's 50 millimeters, is probably smaller than most other integrated bracelet watches that have male end links. Because this has female end links, it does fold down really well, and you can easily wear this on a strap. So that does make it wear slightly smaller than other smaller integrated bracelet watches that have a bigger lug to lug. So that's really good. And it's thin, so 11.9 millimeters thin. The crown on here is large. It's around 6.3 millimeters, somewhere in that range, which is also excellent. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and I think it looks really good on my 7.5 inch wrist. There you go. Lume is very nicely applied to the hands and the indices. The indices are large indices that are filled with lume. You have just a little pip on that second hand, so you can see that it's working in the dark. I think it's a really good looking watch. I think that dial is beautiful as well. You have a Fume sort of sunburst dial. It's a grayish black dial that works really well. I think overall this is a very good looking watch. Price on this is $539. However, if you sign up with an email on their website, they give you 25% off. So this comes out just over $400. I think that's a very good price. This is featuring a Miyota series inside, so an 8 series inside, the 8215 I want to say, which is a very reliable movement. But besides that, everything else is very nicely made. And that is a very reliable movement that's easy to get serviced, really just replaced. It's not extremely expensive, so this could be a watch that would last you a very, very long time for $400. There aren't many watches out there that look this good, feel this good, and are as functional. Definitely something to keep in mind, a really good looking watch for that price. If you can get it for that well, basically $400, $404 I think is what it comes out to. That is a very good price. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I will add a link to their website down in the description. If you are interested, definitely check out their website and check out Monroe in general. They have come out with some really cool watches. A new watch that they recently came out with that is space inspired, has a lot of lume. I think some of the cases loomed in some way. Really cool, and obviously definitely up my alley. I think these are very good looking watches, and I think they're really well made. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.